a super specific message, okay? Someone's wish is coming in, okay? Like I say, a very specific message. Whatever it is that as they're stepping more and more into their heart space and really allowing themselves to understand this love for self, forgiving themselves as well, they're really calling in, they're understanding what they desire, and they're calling in their wishes, okay? Ten of Pentacles is the first card. Someone wants to come and deliver this Ten of Pentacles to somebody. However, this is the Queen of Cups here, who truly has filled so many of her own cups, and it's not come easy. It's come with loss. It's come with walking away from what she needed to and had to. Temperance here. She's had to be so patient on her healing journey, truly. She's going to have an opportunity to talk. There's going to be an opportunity to have a conversation or something that's going to really feel like it's something that is going to allow her. So it feels like I'm hearing the word compromise, which is interesting. So it's kind of like, so it could be an offer. I'm hearing maybe even to do with career, maybe, or love. There's definitely a lot of emotion in this, you know, but it's the emotion that this Queen has been really healing through that is really accelerating the Chariot, this journey towards that Ten of Pentacles now. She could also be somebody who's giving this to somebody else as well. So giving this kind of unconditional love energy to somebody else, is holding space for somebody who needs her right now. But I don't feel like this is something that's like going to make her feel like she's overgiving or taking away from anything that she has. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that was Ace of Cups there. I was just put back in the deck. Wow. There's definitely a lot of emotion here. But I think that this is somebody who's understanding how to create from their heart space now, not from a place of fear and wound and survival mode, right? That's that Ten of Wands. Ace of Swords, again, there's clarity coming. There's something about clarity that is really coming to just create this kind of new cycle, you know? Nine of Wands. Yeah, this has not come easy. 96 could be an important number for someone, 96. Okay, so let's see. Beautiful energy, but like I say, it's coming with the end of the heavy cycle there. Yeah, it's going to open up a new path. It's going to open up a new path where someone's going to truly be able to see. It's kind of like their long-term vision is actually grounding into their reality now. It's really nice. And it's a path that they're not fearing to move towards anymore. The Wheel. Someone's doing things very differently. You know, this isn't illusion that leads to heartbreak anymore. This isn't just fantasy calling, you know. That's so important for this message. It's not about fantasy. Someone's finally going to be given proof that actually their dreams can come true. And it's not from a place of hurt and wound for anybody. It's actually from a really loving space, and that's what makes all the difference. Oh my God, it did come out, the Ace of Cups. Wow, that's come out with the Queen of Cups. So not only is she having, you know, this, actually the reason she's having this new beginning when it comes to the heart space and opportunity and offer from, like, Divine is giving her this offer of, you know, really beautiful, emotionally fulfilling, emotionally fulfilling cup, because she has finally understood that she's deserving of it. She's worthy of it. She has worked hard. You know, in this world, you can be the most, like, best at something, the prettiest, the most skilled, the worst, or the whatever, the opposite end of the scale, and there'll always be someone who has to have an opinion or make a comment or whatever it is, because they're operating from their own insecurities and they have so much unhealed trauma, whether they're cycling in it, you know. But this is kind of like a Queen of Cups energy who has really understood that she's the one who gets to fill her own cup, despite all, Justice card there as well, despite all of the BS that can come to the surface from so many different ways, you know, that has kept her in indecision before. Now she's kind of like, hold on a second, this is my cup. I'm going to be the one who gets to really allow the energies through that I want to invest in, that are worthy of receiving me. It's making all the difference. Not just being led by falsity anymore, you know. She's being true to her own heart. Page of Wands, taking actions that are needed to this kind of emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment actually, which is why I feel like this is somebody who's been taking small actions for a while towards this. Yeah, this is someone, I say she's an energy, right, who has not seen this forward movement coming. She can't see it right now. And there's something to say there about really with the Seven of Wands as well, really, she's clearing through a lot to do with the mind space to finally be able to receive what is coming in a much more clearer way, in a way where actually there's room now to breathe and to receive that and to really understand it from the mind as well, not just the heart. Okay, got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So there's going to be a balance. What is going on? Someone might not be able to talk or something when they come through. I don't know, but balance of logic and heart, okay? You know, it's this heavy cycle of loss and just feeling the sadness of the spilt milk, what has gone, that someone has been truly healing through. And it's kind of like, I'm done with that. I'm so done with that cycle. I'm ready for this. Four of Wands. For what is in my alignment, for who and what shows up, who and what is worthy, you know, because I have been aligning myself to that, no longer being in the loss and the energies of like the past where there's all this like mental friction or just like unanswered questions, and just there's so much she's had to heal through herself to kind of give herself answers that she didn't get externally, that kind of thing. Maybe that's what's coming back around, I don't know. Came through for a reason, but we'll see. Strength card. Eight of Pentacles. Strength is Leo. Okay. I think this is something, you know, there's a new path opening up for her, and I think it has something to do with her purpose, path of purpose as well, so career path. So there could be like an abundance, something she's gaining strength to move forwards to in that path, right? So that's really interesting. She's someone who's willing to work hard for this as well. Okay. Okay. Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. King of Cups has just come out to match the Queen of Cups. We have a divine pair. That was upturned there, the Three of Swords. So it's kind of like not turning back, but like finally closing that chapter of heartbreak and grief and like loss and and just like finally, that's the Knight of Cups to the Wheel to the King of Cups. This is someone who's changed the record. See how the Wheel is in between the Knight and the Cup. The Knight and the King. What is going on? Someone's truly going to want to communicate, and they're going to find it really hard to like, their turn be tongue twisted. That Two of Cups, they want this. You can't really see in this card, but they're really like, they're under these, like this, they're just like under this tree, and there's just so much love between them. It's really beautiful. The King is finally coming through to match the Queen. Before, it was showing up as a knight and couldn't really hold down the truth of what he wanted to bring forwards, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, let me give you all these false promises unmet. So there might have been somebody who really, you know, told you they would be able to give you all of these things, or maybe they just spoke a lot of words that really, you know, they weren't able to match with action. Well, things are changing. I'm just saying the Wheel is there. Oof. Oh my God. Wow, there's going to be a lot of, I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. There might be distance. You might be traveling as well for whatever this is. I just feel like don't take things too quickly is what I'm hearing here, because I feel like this is going to feel like a true, it's going to feel like a wish fulfillment. You've been waiting for this, but there's something about being mindful still of staying grounded here, not being led by emotion or passion, but certainly emotion, okay? Now the Fool, this is so beautiful, the Fool. Oh, new beginning, and then the Queen of Wands at the bottom, they're like, that's that passion. Okay, so passion's beautiful, but when you're not in, like, when you have a really unhealthy kind of Swadhisthana chakra, your sacral chakra, your sexual energy can kind of overtake and control some people depending on where they're at. That's not going to be a healthy way to move forward. And if you want a stable foundation in this particular connection, you know, everything's different for different people. I'm talking about this connection. You're going to want to start from a grounded space where you have clarity of heart and mind. It's what's coming through here for this new beginning before you jump into, there is like this, I'm feeling like this light, like this fire has been lit kind of energy, and that's going to allow this new beginning to come through. The Fool is a brand new beginning. Yes, it's zero, but comes with the ending of the old. New beginnings come with the ending and the closure of the old, okay? So that Ten of Wands truly is confirmation. The Ten of Wands is closing, and the Ten of Pentacles is just about to begin. I'm really enjoying the energy of this reading. It feels really, I feel like there's a balance. There hasn't been a balance before. There was quite the imbalance, actually. And now, that just flipped over. There's too many cards, but that is the Lovers. Wow. I really feel like someone's going to finally follow their heart and not be stuck in their mind anymore. You know, you might be seeing 10-10 a lot as well. Okay. There's too many cards, but that was that Knight of Wands energy where someone was before in the past operating from a really impulsive place, which is why they couldn't hold down in reality what they truly wanted to bring from the heart space. Could be someone who's quite romantic, but again, it was rose-tinted glasses. You know, the reality of the situation was they weren't able to hold it down. You know, knight, not king. Okay, but this is where things have changed. The wheel, they've been learning a lot of lessons. This might have been 3+ years. That's just come to me specifically. 9 of Wands, yeah, someone's clearing through whatever it is that was driving their kind of mental patterns. Could be the king or the queen here is what I'm getting here. Energy, they're really clearing through this, they're understanding this, they're taking the time, because it's actually created, I'm seeing, you know, like piles and piles and piles of just so much heaviness that they were just accumulating inside them, you know. So all of this kind of this trauma, these wounded cycles just like going around and just getting heavier and heavier and heavier. They're finally understanding this, and they're finally understanding they need to lighten the load, if you will, in order to finally move forwards, right? There's been a lot they have not spoken on, so it could be to do with I've heard specifically childhood trauma. Okay, so, and that's where most traumas begin, you know, which is why it's so important to prevent that with all the babies, you know, in the world as much as possible. But I think that that's usually what ends up happening. You know, you have to clear through all of that. And look at this 7 of Cups has come out as well with that 7 of Wands. Whatever the confusion was that you had to give yourself closure to, there's going to be clarity coming in. Don't wait on it. You focus on you. Don't wait on it. Trust me. Because again, free will is real. Free will would determine whether or not someone truly finally decides to close out a cycle and move forwards finally with this, versus going back around again, right? Which I feel like they've done many times with that 10 of Wands, that heavy weight. Yeah. No more confusion is what I'm getting here. There's been so many, I just keep hearing unanswered questions. And I think from both sides, I think there's been this like making up whatever's been happening in the mind, you know, all of this has been happening. And it's like, you don't even know for sure what's been happening on the other side. So it's kind of like being real test to your own mental kind of patterns, you know, which again with trauma-based patterns. 3 of Wands, finally time to move. Oh, and the sun was underneath. I didn't even see it. That's really nice. Going into the sunset. Wow, that's really beautiful. So really are going from the loss of the 5 of Cups, the connections of the past, to this 4 of Wands energy, this alignment. And I think it's coming with the finding that alignment within is really helping this. Got the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as well. So again, you know, that's holding it down energy. That's dependable energy, okay? Water signs could be important here as well, okay? That sun is really beautiful. It's very relevant as well for if you're, depending on which hemisphere you're in, but with summer, maybe just resonate with the sun as well. 5 of Pentacles. Someone was really being led by this down and out energy, this abandonment wound. They have a true abandonment wound, and they don't want to be rejected either. Maybe their ego is a big deal here. Knight of Pentacles, again, that Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So truly being, that's what was leading this impulsive energy, this trauma-based energy beneath the surface. And finally, you know, this Knight of Pentacles, it has taken them a while to finally come forwards. And I think that even then they're going to want to come forward with something, with some kind of offer, and they're wondering, is this going to be enough? That's what it is. It's kind of like in this card, she's looking at the offer and she's like, kind of interested in it. He's just like, are you interested, on his horse coming forwards? 7 of Swords. Okay. There's been deception here. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck as well. So there's definitely somebody who has not spoken their truth, and that's what they're going to need to speak on. I'm hearing confession. And I think this is why they're like, will it be accepted? I think that, you know, there's this, again, this possibility. You got the Magician here. I think there's going to be need to take a time out so that you can actually honor and process your true feelings. This isn't about instantly reacting. This isn't about you know, being a walking mat or whatever, like overgiving. This is about truly saying, hold on, let me honor myself right now. Let me honor my boundaries and honoring each other's. You know, this isn't about blaming and shaming. This is about clearing through that now. it's going to take a lot of work, whatever this is. As in, like, someone's willing to put in the work, basically. They want to invest in this. I think they've had to face a lot where their worth has been so questioned, but then they put themselves, you know, free will again, their choices, they put themselves in those positions where they have felt really, they've been treated like they're not worthy. And also I'm hearing kind of, they might have made this person when it comes through to feel like that as well, maybe. But I don't know if this is someone new or religious factors very soon. Something about someone's upbringing is really important here. So maybe there's like a difference between you two. So you've got societal differences that really kind of, maybe there were an issue or something in the past that you needed to overcome, that maybe you didn't even realize this was an issue for them, unfortunately. Healing family issues. Yes, see their upbringing. Yeah, wow, definitely something to do with childhood trauma there. Very soon, clearly decide on what you want, because let me tell you, you're calling in your desires, like that, those first cards, and then the sun there. Oh, engagement. Your love life is ascending to high levels of commitment, isn't it just? We've got the King and Queen of Cups, we've got the Four of Wands, Ace of Cups. Oh, this isn't going to be about quick action. You know, I think there's something about really clearing the air here. This is what this is going to begin with, and it's going to need you to be operating from your heart space. Okay, so that you can actually finally then look beyond and finally see the horizon and say, okay, that's the way that we want to move. But it comes first with this clearing. Okay, that's really important to remember, and small actions, because it's going to be easy here, that was forgiving and learning, to want to fall back into those mind spaces and mind space. Someone could have been struggling with their mental health, you know. It makes sense if they've had like trauma from a young age. Okay, nothing is coming out. So let's go into this deck and see what else. Mountains could be important for somebody. Mountains. I'm also hearing someone reminiscing or even thinking about kind of, maybe you had intimate moments together or something, or maybe this is something that they're looking forward to. I don't know if there's something about us come through. A fiery climax approaches. What do you need to release? Whatever's coming, there's going to be something that's going to come up, and it's going to make you feel a certain type of way. Emotions are running high. It's going to show you the emotion that is still blocking you from this new path forward. Okay, from whatever it is that's still that heavy kind of 10 of Wands energy. You're going to need to release it. There's going to be this truth. Someone needs to confess something, and you're going to need to, it's going to bring something up in you, this emotion. You're going to need to release that. Communication is key. Conclusions are within reach, and it's something about really being honest about actually the time you need, but also how you're feeling, how it's made you feel. And you know, you don't owe that to anybody, but the reason I've said that is because if you want this, then it's going to require two people coming together in a place of alignment, right? In a place where actually you're willing to say this is my vulnerability, which is not easy, especially if this Seven of Swords has been done. You know, you felt that towards you. 777 is really important as well for somebody. If you felt that has been, you know, how you've been treated, then. But at the end of the day, you're the one who then doesn't have to walk away with regrets. You know, you're doing the thing that is from the heart. A win-win outcome is forecast anyway. Be bold and make the first move. Okay. It's funny because I think that you both have you want the same thing. You both have the same thing on your mind. There's going to be this need not to kind of go like 0 to 100, even in your own head. You know, you got that engagement card, but it's kind of like, okay, but first, what's coming up that needs to, take time to breathe out, land right on engagement. So before you go like too head first, you know, don't let your past hold you back. Take a moment, because there's something that needs to be released so that it doesn't then fester beneath the surface and erupt eventually at some point, right? There really is this message coming through. Do not let your head rule. Do not let your heart get too excited. As in, you're going to need to find that balance between both, right? So you can see the reality for what it is, but also so you can truly honor your feelings, you know, and not just try to make everything logical. This is going to be a beautiful way for you to really find that internal balance of the head and heart, okay? No, it's really beautiful. I think there's also something about this feminine energy of somebody, maybe both of you are very intuitive. There's a lot of intuition, so maybe you're feeling this is something that's coming through for you. Passion. That's a passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be passion in the long term on the horizon. But first comes the acting with honor. You know, seeing that engagement card is kind of like somebody, maybe they do, you know, and this religious factors, maybe they do have some kind of traditional way of thinking, you know. So, release your acts. Oh God, the time has come to clear your energy. Okay, well, the only way you can truly make the effort is to clear that energy. I feel like there's so much here that doesn't want to come through right now because it's just, I'm shuffling and shuffling. So it's kind of like when it comes in, just be mindful of how you're feeling. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It's going to be an opportunity for both of you to clear the past. Whatever this energy is that's just come through, release your ex. I feel very like, I've heard the word disdain, so I don't know if this is that's what you need to release, that feeling. A time to give rather than take. Someone's going to need some time to handle their emotions because whatever's coming through, they're going to need some time. And, you know, I feel like also it's their right to have that time to process whatever they're being told, the truth that's coming to the surface. So if someone's beholding that because they're scared of how they need to take accountability for their actions or whatever it is that they're coming through to you with the truth with. So be bold and make the first move, you know, otherwise it's just going to be there for... I just feel like I'm like, just get done. But obviously everything happens in divine timing, so it is being divinely orchestrated when you're ready to receive this, and you're not going to be, you know, yourself operating from the wounded energies. The answers you need are coming, then the answers come. You know, you've been, like I say, you've been going through some serious healing. It's time to take action. Serious healing here. So, and that's for a reason. You know, it's kind of like you're understanding your emotions so much better. Yeah. And that's why you're going to be able to really understand how you're responding to this, how you're reacting. But something about this where you're also your emotional intelligence is allowing you to understand this person as well. And when they come through with the truth, you'll be able to understand kind of the reason behind the decisions that they made. Okay, obviously that doesn't excuse them treating you in any kind of whatever way, but I don't think that's what this is moving forwards. Okay, so prayer will help this situation. Decide to be happy now. You're going to be able to decide. A favourable outcome. Again, win-win outcome, favourable outcome. Very positive. Just be mindful that your energy healing work as well. So kind of, again, that clearing that energy. So whatever could come in the way of this, those past energies, not only do you need to individually clear through that, but together you're going to have to. And it could even be each other's, you know, maybe your history together, maybe, or just kind of, if anything came in the way, you know, I do feel like somebody was, whatever stops them from moving forward is their mind space, doubt and indecision. Doubt and indecision, there's a lot of that, I can feel it, and I think that maybe you kind of mirror that. Number 9 could be important, we're in a 9, yeah. Ooh, beyond words. Some things don't need to be spoken because you can just feel it inside your system, like 29 as well, and 11, 1, so maybe it's a master life path number, so. The warrior of love, I like that. Number 10, warrior of love. So it says beyond words, but I think actually your communication is what's going to be really important here. And then I'm not talking about lots of conversation. I'm actually talking about clear communication. So you're clearly understanding each other, clearly expressing yourself to each other. Throughout this entire reading, that's exactly what has not been happening. I've been talking so clearly. Clearly, that's something that you're going to need to be mindful of. I think there might be this energy of like wanting to rush, take the plunge, wanting to really do this, but that doubt and indecision is really going to just come up to be healed and released. My goodness, cards. Ideal romance. So you both see each other as the ideal kind of Emperor. That's the Emperor energy. Jealousy and possessiveness. Okay, 23. Maybe that's the doubt, you know. Maybe there's that's a needing to release the ex, because it's kind of like if somebody made the choice they made in the past, it needs to be so they could become who they are today. At that time, whether or not you see them as yours or not, they were choosing to be who they were choosing to be and with who they were choosing to be with, right? Soft whispers, which suggests that was completely out of alignment with you anyway. Otherwise, they would have been choosing you, like vice versa. Eros and that, something came to an end here, or something has ended with this X energy for sure, or it's coming to a completion, right? Soft whispers, okay, so again, really be mindful how you're speaking to each other, number 7, number 30, or number 3, okay? Greece could be important for somebody as well here, ancient Greece maybe. Okay, a beautiful face, number 3. So maybe, you know, you both might be quite attractive, or maybe you just, there's something about having a lot of attention here. And that's maybe why that jealousy and possessiveness was coming through, and the doubt and indecision. Uninhibited and released. Someone was acting, and that was major masks. When they were operating from that wounded space of like the past that we mentioned, you know, the passion that was actually not being channeled correctly in a beautiful heart way. It was just like the lower chakras controlling their like actions or whatever. It was all a mask. It's all a mask, hiding. We know this because it's hiding everything beneath the surface, all the traumas that were being upheld by society with all, you know. But things are changing, joy and jubilation. I think both of you are going to feel really free in this energy. You're going to feel so, this is a really aligned connection. Like on the heart space, you're so aligned. You know, it's actually really beautiful. Number 12 there as well. And number 15, 6 and 3 as well. Okay, and the game of love, number 5. Someone's experienced, you know, maybe it was this, but there's been like this imbalance and unrequited love in the past. I think this is where the doubt and indecision comes through. You're going to have to be really clear and honest about your feelings here, which means you're going to have to be comfortable with being vulnerable. Finances and career. That was coming through before. Someone's really working on their career path right now. The path of purpose, maybe both of you. But that's beautiful, focusing on it, you know, it's really important. But also it could be by somebody's kind of holding back. They want to come through and they want to be like, you know, in that space. Reconciliation, the bottom of the deck. Retreat, time to disconnect from the world. So maybe kind of listen less to, you know, how things need to be from the external, and try to really truly tap into your heart space, and which tells you the direction you need to take anyway. You know, that's the beauty of this, okay? So there's a favourable outcome. It's all going to depend on how you communicate with each other, okay? Because there's going to be some truths coming to surface. Could be the one, you've already met each other, so it's confirmation again. Past life relationship, again, separation, so worth waiting for. Yeah. So the answers are coming, okay? And it's going to require you some time to retreat, disconnect, gather yourself, understand what you're feeling within yourself, so you can really close out a cycle, because it's going to be a healing cycle for you to close out, so you can actually finally find alignment and, you know, with each other. Because something inside you that's going to be cleared and released, and it needs to. Especially with these unspoken truths, you know, they had to go on their path for a reason. It was their stuff to heal. But also remember everything that you have become as a result. Like, think about it, you know, you being able to kind of stay on your path has allowed you to really go inwards and become this beautiful Queen of Cups who's calling in her desires, and she knows what they are finally, and she knows she's worthy of them. It's taken that, you know, it's taken the path it needed to, for you to become this beautiful, beautiful new energy, and call in this gorgeous, favourable outcome, alignment, 4 of Wands energy. Really beautiful, okay? Let me know if this message was for you. Sending so much love.